It was a lonely job, but when I connected with other content creators like Shubham, Praveen Singampalli, then
Yeah.
Ravish, Prerit, there are a lot of people, Rishabh. These guys are doing amazing job. After the ChatGPT or BARD has been introduced, there are hundreds of new AI based companies that have emerged on top of that.
Hey, hi Piyush, how are you doing?
Hello, Pushkar. I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm also doing good, man. So, thank you very much, first of all, for agreeing to do it. Okay. And we would be happy to know about your journey and how it has been so far. Okay. So, to get started, can you please just introduce yourself? Probably a lot of people already know about you, but for the newer audience, can
Sure,
you please tell us about yourself?
definitely. Hello, everyone. My name is Piyush Sachdeva. I am working as a cloud engineer with Google Canada. I'm having close to 12 years of experience in IT, and around like past six or 7 years, I'm working with cloud and DevOps. And yeah, yeah, that's pretty much about me. I am working on Google Kubernetes Engine as my primary specialization, and I work on other GCP tools such as Cloud Deploy, Cloud Logging, Monitoring, Alerting, all those stack driver.
So, we would be more interested in also knowing about your journey, like from your college, then how did you landed the role at Google Canada? Yeah.
Sure. So, like 3 years back, like around 4 years back, I started applying to Amazon in the similar roles like DevOps consultant roles, technical account managers, solution architect, all those cloud related and DevOps related roles. So I was getting interviewed, and each time I was getting rejected. So I rejected almost 6 7 times after being interviewed, and not just my application was rejected. I interviewed, and after that I got rejected. So I had this obsession to get into Amazon at that time. So Google recruiter reached out to me and told me like, this is the opportunity that we have, which I think you would be a good fit for. And
Okay.
like the time that I was telling you that I gave myself 1 year, it was not even like 3 4 months. So
Mhm.
in my mind, I was like, I am not even prepared. I didn't even do all those things that I have planned for the next 1 year. And this opportunity came, and at the same time, I didn't want to miss this opportunity, because it doesn't happen a lot that Google recruiter reach out to you, and I just didn't want to say no to them. Like, so I
Yeah, of course.
thought, okay, let's because the opportunity came, so let's just go with it. Let me see. I mean, I have been failed multiple times in Amazon, so it will be just one more time with Google. That's okay. So
Okay, so
yeah,
this time it worked.
yeah, this time it worked. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
great, great.
So yeah, that was it.
Okay, this is really good, and it shows that you were just raring to get it, and you got it.
Yeah,
So, second point I want to discuss around that. I do ask all my friends who are working with tier one companies, how was your experience working with Google as a cloud engineer, and how do you find it different from the previous experiences? Not to demean any other
sure, sure.
experience, but just how do you find it different?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing so far. Like one thing that I didn't find in any companies that I have worked with previously is, uh, you know, the willingness of people to help each other. Like people would just, you just put something like a query or a question in the group space, and there'll be a lot of people reach out to you and say, okay, you have a minute, let's go on a call and sort this issue. I mean, people just offer help in the front, and sometimes without even asking for it. So that's
Okay.
pretty amazing. That's something that you can expect from Google, but I was not sure whether it's gonna be like that or not. So that's one thing. Other thing is like the exposure that I'm getting, like the role that I'm in, it's a client facing role. So I have to interact with multiple customers. You go on a call with them, understand the issue, and help them debug and troubleshoot the issue. So the
Okay.
exposure is really good, and the tools that Google has, all the internal tools. So
Mhm.
that's pretty amazing to work with. I also love working with GKE like as a product, because Kubernetes
Yeah.
is like
Fun.
one of the top like hot tool in the market at the moment, and
Yeah.
GKE is the top contender. So I'm enjoying it. There is a lot of learning that I'm getting out of it, because when you work with multiple customers, every customer has a different implementation of their cluster, right? So I'm
Yeah.
getting to learn new thing each time that I'm interacting with them. So yeah, so it's
Right.
been an amazing experience so far.
So if I can summarize it, basically the community and the focus on the
Yes.
product is just pretty high at
Yeah.
Google than
Yeah. I
other
mean, like
experiences.
this,
Okay, that's
I mean,
great.
it has everything that I could have imagined, like good perks,
Mhm.
like there is hybrid, so I don't have to really go to office. I Last time
Yeah.
I went to office, it was like last year, 4 or 5 months back, and
Okay, great.
and all the there are a lot of opportunities for you to grow and learn. Like in Google, there is a concept called 20% projects. Like 80% of the time you work with your primary project, and 20% you can pick any project in Google and you can just contribute
Mm.
to that. Like whatever you like, whatever you think you are good at, anything. So
Right,
that's
right.
an amazing opportunity to learn and grow. And yeah, I mean,
Okay,
it's great. Yeah.
super, super. That's really well summarized. Okay, cool. Next question is really interesting, and I would quote my personal experience, which is around the common misconceptions people have about cloud and DevOps, and how do you address them. One of example I wanted to share is it's little behind. I mean, 2 3 years back, somebody asked on the floor that, "Hey, my Wi-Fi is not working. Can you please help?" Okay, hear from the DevOps team. So, do you have any that kind of
Yeah,
experience, and
it
how
always
the
happens.
world sees it?
Yeah, it's not just,
Okay.
cloud and DevOps. It's like how words see us as an IT professional. Like
Mm.
a lot of time, people reach out to me and say, "Hey, there is something wrong with my Gmail account, and you work with Google,
Okay.
so can you help me out with that?" And I'm like, first of all, like Gmail is entire, like it comes under a different sites, is part of the Google Workspace product. But even I would have worked with that. And if you forgot your password, there is nothing that I could help you with. So yeah, I mean, I totally understand your point, and it's really like how words see us. But things are now changing. Like maybe people don't know, like outside IT world, people like a lot of people don't know about DevOps much, but cloud is really evolving. Like if you
Mhm.
like, there was a time when Amazon means the e-commerce website, and no one really knew about AWS, even though they
Yeah.
started everything, right? But now
Yeah.
things are changing. Now people, uh, they are they are getting the idea that if you have to get a remote storage like a Google Drive or like Dropbox, so everything is stored on cloud. So like people are getting the basic idea of what cloud is, but still it's a long way to go. Like
Yeah. Okay. This is more around the non-tech people. My question is more directed towards within
okay,
our
okay,
floors,
right,
right?
yeah,
So if you can also share that, how, because today I see everything when you say job descriptions of DevOps, they will list the 70 tools and they expect you to
yes,
do everything. So
yes.
so that's like entire IT
Mhm.
department. So DevOps as a misconception. Uh, can you just address few of them that this needs to go away? What is the role of a DevOps
Yeah.
engineer or a cloud
Yeah.
engineer
So,
simply?
yes, I have also faced this issue when I'm interviewing for a DevOps role, and people asking me, front end development skills or Angular JS, React, and and even though it was not really a requirement, but because the hiring manager or the recruiter, they have taken the template from somewhere and they just added all the skill sets, whatever was there. But
Yes.
when it comes to DevOps, I guess development should not be a part of it, because it's not dev and ops. It's like it's bridging the gap between dev and ops. But it doesn't mean that a DevOps is a person who does development and operations at the same time. So that's really a misconception that is around there, and people are just blindly following it. That
Yeah.
DevOps is a person who takes care of everything. No, it's not like that. I mean, you cannot let everything to be done by a single person or a single team. Everything has to be a dedicated. You know, e- Everything has to come under a dedicated umbrella. And the
Yeah.
other thing is, like, DevOps and cloud, they kind of overlap with each other a lot of times. And I guess most of the times, because if you see a DevOps role and it will have cloud as the mandatory experience nowadays. Earlier, it was preferred experience with cloud. Now, like, cloud is mandatory in almost all the DevOps roles or jobs out there. And the same way, if there is a cloud role opportunity, DevOps will be a must have, like CI/CD infrastructure
Yeah.
as a code, monitoring, logging, alerting, everything would be part of it. Look, a DevOps guy should know, like, the scripting and how to troubleshoot the code. And I guess that should be it. Like, scripting could be in any language, Shell, preferably Python, but Shell also works in most of the cases. And but like the hardcore development or like writing the actual code, other than like the CI/CD part, it's not really a part of DevOps role. And
Mm.
this is, like, even I faced a lot of times. Like, but yeah,
Yeah, this really need to go
yeah,
away, and people need to understand we don't fix Wi-Fi.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. The next bit I wanted to talk about somebody who is watching this podcast and they want to start their career. However, a lot of people are building content around it, but for the benefit of that, if you can in 60 seconds tell us that what all things are needed with tool names, that would be
Okay.
very helpful.
So as I said, like, start with the cloud first, AWS or Azure or GCP. Okay. So AWS, because it has a lot of expertise in the market already. It has a well-established market. So I wouldn't suggest to go with AWS. So pick either Azure or GCP. Then your
Mm.
basic Linux administration skills. Make sure you understand Linux, how to operate them, administer it, and uh, some good level of scripting, not just basic scripting, like the good level of scripting in in any of the scripting language, like Shell or Python. And then your infrastructure and networking concept should be clear, like how OSI model works, how DNS work, how TCP works, HTTP, HTTPS, all those things. Then your CI/CD stack, like pick one tool that is most widely used, as I have mentioned before, like Jenkins for CI/CD, Terraform for infrastructure as a code, Elk for logging, Prometheus and Grafana for monitoring and alerting, and Fluentd also for logging if you are working with that. And
Yeah.
then there is Docker and Kubernetes must have nowadays. Like, it takes time to understand Kubernetes, because it has really a vast concepts. It has a lot of concepts, but it is a must have nowadays for security. Like within cloud, you would understand, because if you have worked with the cloud or if you are gaining cloud experience, then you would understand all the security aspect of cloud. But other than that, as part of CI/CD, make sure you work with like tools such as Black Duck or Sonar Cube for static code analysis and code vulnerability scanning. And then and when you work with Docker, you would work with like container registry as well. So that would also be covered.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, I guess.
That's I think quite a lot of tool to go
Yeah.
through, and that gives a good roadmap. I mean, whoever is following, it's It's a perfect roadmap. I completely agree with you. One question I have around the motivation you have around YouTube, because content creation is a very, very lonely job. You first of all think through what you need to cover in your video, then you record, you make mistake, you correct it, re-record it, right? And then you edit it.
Yes.
It takes a day, maybe a day and a half. Like yesterday I was editing one of my video, and the entire video is 1 hour. I'm going to take 2-3 hours to edit that to 20-30 minutes. So it's a very, very lonely job. So what keeps you motivated to every day get up and do something?
So, like I've told you before, like when I started it, I never thought of it doing as a regular or ongoing thing. But the response that I got, even though I didn't have much subscriber, I like now also I don't have a lot of subscribers, or I don't get a lot of views in my videos. But like whoever is watching the video, they really appreciate it. So they message me on LinkedIn. Some people are connected me on my WhatsApp or like Twitter, other social media as well. So people really appreciate the work that we do. And that what keeps me going. When someone tell me like this video really helped me in getting my job or clearing the certification exam or something that I have achieved because of this video, it really, makes me happy. It's what could me give me a good night's sleep. So with that in mind, I just keep doing it, and there is nothing for me to lose, even though I am spending a lot of time in that, but I am gaining a lot of knowledge out of it, right? Because when we record a video, we first understand the concept thoroughly, then we,
Yeah.
you know as you said, like we do multiple retakes. And if we are doing the screen recording, which is what we are doing most of the times, we have to do the actual hands-on on the console or the terminal window and everything. So
Yeah.
we are getting everything from it, and at the same time we are helping others as well. So I guess like I mean this wouldn't have been better for me. And and because I am in Google because of my YouTube, like when I started it. So I owe a lot to this, and I owe a lot to the community. That's why, I never really thought of giving it a break or something that is my side gig. This is what I do now. Like, so this is kind of part of
Yeah.
my job.
This is very motivating for people who are doing it, because doing it regularly is a you need to be self motivated enough to do it. So that you're
And also like
on that part.
like you said earlier, it was a lonely job, but when I connected with other content creators like Shubham, Praveen Singampalli, then
Yeah.
Ravish, Prerit, there are a lot of people, Rishabh. These guys are doing amazing job, and
So
when I
we
connected with them and when I have regular discussion with them, they also motivates me. Like, and they also share their experience, like do this and do that, and try to create these kind of engaging content and
content.
everything.
Yeah.
So they also motivates me. So I kind of have I have a community for which I create the content, and I have a
Mm.
community like those who are around me and helping me to create the content. So that is
Perfect.
also an important. I don't feel myself lonely now, you know.
That's great.
Yeah.
Getting the right company is
Yeah, yeah.
important, and that's like best example of how a community is built and maintained.
Correct.
So perfect. That's really great initiative which you take probably every weekend, I believe. One thing for whether new folks or experienced folks, why do you think contribution to community is important these days in terms of Medium blogs, LinkedIn blogs, or videos, content creation? Why do you think it is important now?
It's kind of like, so the part we have already covered, like why I did it and
Mm.
what it gave me, what like how it helped me and others as well. But there are other benefits of doing the community contributions, such as like your profile, your resume, it gets highlighted in the market, right? You don't have to work on personal project if you are contributing to open source, right?
Mhm.
So, and you get a lot of knowledge out of it. You get the actual hands-on experience of a real life project. So that is also really important. And it helps you gain that confidence. It helps you, keeps you motivated. When you just contribute to some project, you create a pull request.
Yes.
When it's been merged, it gives a feeling of happiness. And then you try to make it, you try to do it consistently and frequently. But
Mhm.
and also, like, community contribution is not just doing the actual coding contribution. It's anything that could add value to the community, like if you are creating a video, writing a blog, or uh, even making a documentation change in any of the open source website. Everything counts as a community contribution, and
Mhm.
it has a value. It has a lot of value to it. So it has a numerous benefits that we have discussed. And I guess it is the new normal nowadays. People are doing it very frequently. Everyone is engaged, even though, like, people like me who are not good in coding, we try to contribute from our side, like whatever we could, through our
Mhm.
videos, blogs, community sessions, one-on-one mentorship sessions, anything that we could do. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's and when you talk to
And
people, you get to hear their side of the story. You get to know their experience, and there is a learning in every discussion that you have with anyone out there. So yeah.
yes, yes. And one thing lately, I'm seeing these young guys. Okay, they are very, very doing great, and it's really happy to see that these guys is so early phase in their career. They have picked these content creation, open source
Yeah.
contributions. It really, it's really great to see, because when we were working, yeah, early in our early days, the focus was just getting the
You're
job
making us
done.
feel
And but
old now.
yeah, we are. Let's agree to that. Okay. So one last question I had saved for the last, because this is really important. What are your thoughts on future of cloud computing and DevOps career post Chat GPT and BARD has happened?
Okay. I think it will be it's gonna complement the existing technology that we have. So yes, it is kind of a revolution that happened recently, but every technology drift that we have witnessed in past few decades was a revolution. Invention of
Mhm.
television or invention of computer was a revolution. And when computer first came into the picture, like, people had the same fear like that is there right now, that everyone was gonna lose their job and everything will be done by computer. But it didn't happen that way. It created billions and billions of jobs. There are millions of companies that build on top of computer. If it was not invented, we wouldn't be having this conversation now. There was no YouTube, there was nothing, right? So the same thing
Yeah.
I believe is gonna happen. Like, and you have already, you're already seeing this happening. You see, after the Chat GPT or BARD has been introduced, there are
Mhm.
hundreds of new AI based companies that have emerged on top of that. They are
Yes.
using the APIs that are behind Chat GPT or OpenAI, and they are building their application on top of that. So
Mhm.
already companies have started emerging, and more companies mean more jobs, more opportunities out there. But yeah, it's going to change the way we are doing things now, but at the same time it will have a lot of opportunities in the future. Some jobs that are less relevant will be obsolete, and it it's it happens anyways. After a
Yeah.
time, after a few years, a job that is not making a lot of impact, it becomes obsolete and replaced by some automated process. So that was, anyways, it was going to happen anyways.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
yeah, I guess
So
that's when
you
I think about it.
now, so you don't see it as a threat. You see it as a friend, if I can
Yeah.
say. And we need to,
Yes.
we need to, step up to
Yes,
using AI
we,
other
we
than
need to, yes, we
completely.
need to actively use it. It's the same. When DevOps came into the picture, everyone was worried like all the operations job will be gone after the DevOps has been implemented, or if everything is automated, what would operations guys do? That was this fear as well. But at the same time, DevOps created a lot of jobs. Everyone is now running behind DevOps because it has created that pool of opportunities for us. So I guess we should
Okay.
embrace that. We should, we should feel ourselves lucky and fortunate to have living in this era where everything is, it's really amazing to see. And
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so it's
That's a very nice point of view to the way to look at it.
Mhm.
Okay, so this will conclude our discussion for the day. Okay, again, Piyush, thank you very very much.
It was a
This
pleasure,
was
Pushkar.
very
Thank you so
engaging
much.
discussion.
Thank you so much for
Same
inviting
here.
me. And it was really a nice talk, nice discussion that we had. And I look forward for many more sessions.
Sure, sure, indeed, indeed, perfectly. Thank you, man. Bye bye.